Can everyone see the screen? Are we good? Diana, can you confirm?
Confirmed.
Okay, great. So we're gonna start. This session is also being it's also on live on our YouTube channel, and it will be uploaded there. So later on, if you want to go back to it, you can always watch it. I see that we are getting some questions. So if you have any questions, please use our Q&A folder up there. And if you are joining from YouTube, make sure to leave comments in the live chat. So we're going to start now. RPA League 2019, Texas. Here we go. This is the agenda for today. We have two speakers with us. Eric Eisenberg, he is the Senior RPA Specialist at UiPath, and we have Cynthia Libby. She is the IA Manager at Avanade. Avanade is one of our hiring partners for RPA League. Eric is going to talk about RPA and the future and where you come in as an RPA professional. And then I'll briefly explain about RPA League, and we'll have Cynthia talking about Avanade and what Avanade does with automation. And then Eric will show a very short demo of how RPA works. And then we're gonna have some Q&A sessions at the end. So these are just two quotes that kind of describe what RPA is. RPA takes the robot out of the human. It takes the robotic, mundane tasks and liberates your workforce. And the next quote is by Capital G. It is one of our biggest investors at UiPath. We strongly believe that RPA is the main path via which organizations will take advantage of AI, and UiPath proves this potential via an unmatched growth and an incredible impact among clients. Upwork recently released the latest top 20 fastest scoring skills for freelancers, and RPA, robotic process automation, ranked in top 5. Next, Eric is going to talk about preparing for the jobs in automation first economy.
Yeah, I'd love to. So hello, everyone. This is Eric Eisenberg. As Judy said, I do work for UiPath. I'm an RPA developer here. And RPA is a rather new technology hitting the market. You know, our company did start over a decade ago, but we really kind of started to see some more adoption across the market in the last few years. And with that, there are, traditional roles that you might be familiar with, such as a developer role, a solution architect role, a business analyst, a consultant. You may have heard of these roles before, but really with RPA, we need more specialized skills with those. And so if you go on our Academy website, you'll find a slew of all sorts of different trainings that can help you, if you have any interest in any of these roles, can help you become one of these roles. So if we move on to the next slide, what we'll see is that RPA compared to software engineering, it's really, there are some similarities, but there are some interesting differences that make RPA unique here. So one of those, even for enterprise use cases that companies use RPA for, RPA development is faster than normal software development, because generally you're going to be developing code that mimics what people do. And so this means that redundant, even highly complicated but repetitive tasks can be automated in a matter of a few weeks. And when you compare that to more traditional software development, it can take months for even simple prototypes for software to kind of be launched. So generally, RPA development is going to be faster. You're going to be moving on to new code at a faster rate. You're going to be introduced to new technologies at a faster rate. So one thing that we also see is professional software engineers, they often have a myriad of development tools available to them. And some of those are behind paywalls, such as WebStorm, UiPath offers a complete development platform and community editions of our own technologies. And this is what professionals and citizens use. So when you couple this with our community forums, it allows professional and citizen developers to easily collaborate and share knowledge amongst each other. And so going back to that, with the faster development and then the strong community that UiPath provides, it allows everyone to engage in a broad range of use cases. Our platform is open such that anyone can add new code or integrate with an existing technology into what you're working on. So that means you can, it allows you to tackle so many different use cases that would be more time consuming with traditional software engineering. So if we go to the next slide, we can discuss some of these integrations. Now, UiPath, we do have some heavy machine learning features, such as our computer vision activities. Those allow the computer to see windows and screens in the same way that people do. And it does that by analyzing where and what the buttons, fields, and banners are in an application that are on your screen. But aside from these UiPath out-of-the-box machine learning features, we integrate with a ton of other technologies that you've likely heard of, you might be familiar with, such as Google Suite, right? Most people have used Google Mail before. Maybe you've heard of IBM Watson. There's also some things like Google Vision capabilities, which you may not be all that familiar with, but there's really just a ton of stuff that we integrate with. So you can visit our integrations page on our website to find out more. UiPath also allows you to add VB.NET, C#, Python, Java code right into your projects. We make it very simple for you. And so you even if you find that one of these integrations isn't quite doing what you want it to do, you have the full capabilities of traditional software development at your disposal. So you can kind of tweak things or bring in new features as you need. So if we go on to the next slide, we'll see that due to the power of RPA, the growth of the industry has been substantial, not only recently, but it's projected to only increase. There's so many companies, there's such a need out there for RPA right now that if you come join us, I'm just really excited for everyone.
Thank you, Eric. So we are going to talk about RPA League 2019 Texas. So what is the objective? RPA League helps students, recent grads, and professionals learn and master the newly coveted RPA skill set and connect them with an internship and or a full-time position at a top global company within our network that will accelerate their new talent. So we have about 3,000 enterprises as our customers for UiPath, and 50% of top 50 Fortune Global 500 companies use our product. And later on, Cynthia will talk more about how Avanade uses UiPath software. And this is also for both technical and non-technical students as well. Our target audience, current university students and recent grads with business or engineering background, tech professionals with previous programming experience, and professionals planning a career change. So this is the program design. You can kind of skip the awareness and kickoff part. So we are doing a kickoff webinar for those who missed the kickoff that happened mid-June, but it's okay. It's still not too late to join, and we're very thankful that you're here. So the webinar, since this is still a kickoff, we can talk about it. So this is the very first event. The participants will learn more about RPA, UiPath, and the RPA League program, and also connect with partners and UiPath team. And we have webinars. We will have Q&A sessions on certification and academy, and you'll get to learn from the current UiPath team members on their career journey and experience as well. We have about 3 to 4 webinars coming up. Some are already recorded, so you can just kind of watch them whenever you can, and some will be live. So you should start on your academy ASAP. So I see that some of you already finished the foundation course. That's great. As a participant for RPA League, you should complete at least the foundation and orchestrator courses. So as you can see, foundation takes about 40 hours and orchestrator takes about 5 hours. If you have a technical background and you're trying to become an RPA developer or more of those technical roles, you should also finish the advanced role, and that will really increase your chance of getting hired by our partners. So, I did some calculations. So if you start the academy today, just to finish foundation orchestrator, it will take about 45 hours to 50 hours, and that's about 8 hours a week. So just like an hour and 30 minutes a day for you to finish 2 courses before hackathon, which will be happening in August 10th and 11th. And if you are trying to finish all the way up till advanced course, that's about 80 hours from today, and that's around 13 hours a week. So if you can just spend about 2 hours a day learning, that would be great. So after webinars, you can see that we have Automate and Connect workshops coming up. These are on-site events, more technical. So you bring your laptop, and hopefully you have finished at least 70% of the foundation course by the time you come to this event. We will have our RPA developers like Eric there. You'll get to ask any questions you may have, and you'll just automate together with your peers and your mentors. Also, this is where you will get to build your teams for the hackathon. And then this is the final stage, 36-hour hackathon and job fair. So this is where you get to collaborate with your peers to compete for a chance to win $10,000 in prizes. Like I said, it will be happening in August 10th to 11th in Houston. If you are coming from other cities, we will provide some transportation assistance, and the details will be shared shortly. So stay tuned. And this is a chance that you get to connect with potential employers. We will have all of our hiring partners there at the job fair. And, you can kind of see this as like a 36-hour job interview. I know that sounds kind of scary, but, you're going to have so much fun, and you'll get to automate together. And even if you think you're not an RPA expert yet, that's okay. Like I said, you get to work in teams, and also we will have RPA developers there to help you out as a mentor. Anytime you're stuck, you can ask them any questions. So just try to finish foundation and orchestrator course, and please participate in this hackathon. Like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we also want you guys to be engaged throughout the entire program. The self-paced online learning could get kind of boring, and you might get kind of tired of it. So we have all these platforms that are available for you so that you can stay engaged. First, we want you to make an account on Connect. So this is connect.uipath.com. It looks like this. This is how your profile will look like. I think we have an MVP as our attendee right now, but here's Clayton right here. He is our MVP for UiPath community. But on the right side, as you can see, there's some gamification situation going on, right? So anytime you finish the foundation course, a badge will be automatically added to here. And same as hackathon. If you participate in hackathon, you'll get a badge. If you, as an RPA League participant, you'll get a badge as well. And we have our companies, our customers who have their company profiles on Connect as well. And they will have access to your profile. So this is kind of like a LinkedIn for you. And they'll see that you've completed a hackathon, that you've completed, foundation, orchestrator, and even advanced courses. And you will have, you'll get a chance to connect with them directly as well. So we highly encourage that you make the Connect profile. Some other platforms available, we have a UiPath community Slack channel for RPA League participants only. Also, we have a LinkedIn group. We already have about 200 members on the LinkedIn group. So we really want all of you guys to join this group if you haven't already. We have a forum, and this is where you go for any Q&As you have. We have about more than 200,000 members very active on the forum globally. So anytime you feel like you're stuck, you can go here. I'm sure you'll find an answer. If not, you can ask the question, and you will get the answer very soon. And if you have any questions about the RPA League program, then you can use our community Slack channel. for the RPA League US. And we have the community YouTube channel. This is for our webinars. This current webinar will be uploaded there as well. And you'll also see the event highlights and any interviews that we have. So all this info you can find in our general registration link on Eventbrite. If you scroll down, there will be a link to the instructions for RPA League. And if you click that, you will see something on the right side right here. So you can click these as well. So if you need to register to Academy, you just click that link and it will take you there. Also, to start your, you need to start your self-paced learning journey ASAP if you haven't already. And those are the courses that you have to take. So we have about 2-3 different versions of foundation. There's like a foundation revamped, foundation like an older version. So make sure you take the foundation 2018.3. The course titles must match the ones listed here. And then, of course, you have to create an account and connect. And there are some other resources available. For example, if you have a Mac, then this is how you can use UiPath Studio. And also, there's a LinkedIn group link, UiPath forum, Slack channel, and YouTube. And if you have any questions, please email rpleague@uipath.com. Next, we will have Cynthia talk about Avanade. Anytime you're ready, Cynthia.
Hi there. How you guys doing? All right. Let's go on to I'm Cynthia Libby. I'm from Avanade. Avanade is a joint venture of Accenture and Microsoft. And so we kind of focus on the Microsoft stack, which means that we can really kind of get into some interesting new technologies that are available. We have 75,000 plus professionals across Avanade and Accenture. So that's a lot of people that we can work with. And some of there's just some different data points down there. The thing I think is kind of interesting is since we are focused on Microsoft, we have a lot of Microsoft certified professionals. So if you join Avanade, for example, we really encourage you to keep learning, getting your Azure certifications, any kind of certifications. Yeah, when I got my UiPath certification, they gave me a little cash prize. So, always good. All right, next slide. All right, so we have done process automation at over 350 clients. We have so many subject matter experts. And I know a lot of you guys are maybe not computer people, but you're more business people. And that's where subject matter experts really come in, because we need people that know how the business works to be able to help us develop these automations. And we have 6,000 plus successful automations, which is just incredible to think about. And we have 700 plus developers certified, and I think that's supposed to be RPA tools, but the R got lost. So we definitely are encouraged to get our certification. Yep. So that's why if you get your certification with UiPath, it's going to be important for us. Oh, no, you're fine. You can go on. Okay, so this is kind of where we're seeing how automation kind of starts, some of the different aspects of it. A lot of people started out in business process management. They wrote a bunch of little macros or scripts, what you might think of as like little mini bots to do some work. And that was pretty good, but because the macros and scripts it's not easy to maintain those, and it's not easy to work with them. So the next better step is to do RPA, that's where you can actually, instead of having all these macros working, you can actually write something in a really good code base that's got all the advantages of a good code system, where you can have source control and you can collaborate really well, share code. It's really a nice system. And as you'll be seeing, as you pay attention to UiPath, they're moving into the cognitive RPA as well. We're starting to work with our AI technologies to make RPA just a little bit smarter. So it can do things like figure out that something has moved slightly, or just that something is a little bit different. It can interpret language, do all those types of things, which is very helpful. And we're just going to move across this life cycle to going from the rules-based, where everything has to be perfect for the robot to be able to work, up to where we can go. It can be a little bit smarter and kind of self-learning, and do a little bit more advanced processes. So the farther we get up the scale, the more we're reinventing our business impact. Okay. And here, these are just some examples. So if you guys, I know some of you guys are probably fairly new if you're just coming out of college, but if you're an experienced person, you might say, well, I have a lot of experience in one of these stacks. And that tells you, you know, your previous knowledge is going to be very helpful. The rest of you guys, not to worry, because we do have some subject matter experts that will work with you. So what we like to do is we're going to come through here and we're going to say, you need some help with OTC, that's order to cash. And a lot of times what people need help with is coming in here and customers are sending in requests, they're coming in asking for inquiries. You know, where's my order? What is there any delays expected? Can I change my order? All those kinds of like requests that take a lot of time for a human to do, our automated process will do for them and for us. So frees up people to do kind of more interesting tasks. Right? And so the idea being that we're going to work, the humans working with the robots, so that the robots are doing some of the tasks that the humans get pretty bored with and are pretty repetitive, and we're doing kind of the more thought intensive processes. Okay.
Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you.
One of the questions we got at the kickoff in Houston was that, you know, would the bots be replacing jobs? And the answer is a no. Think of the bots, the software bots, as like your assistant. It will help you with, you know, all the repetitive tasks that you have to do so that you can focus more on more creative, more strategic work. So now I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and Eric is going to be showing you a very short demo of how UiPath software works.
Hey, everyone. All right, let's share my screen here. Should be able to see it now. So let me know if we're good, and then I'll get started.
You're good.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So this is just like a fun little automation I want to show everyone. So this, what this is going to do is it's going to solve Sudoku for us. And the first thing it's going to solve is it's going to solve an easy puzzle. Then it's going to move on to the medium and to the hard. And so this just gives you a little bit of a taste. Now, you know, we were discussing earlier about the cognitive capabilities of RPA. And what's great about RPA is you can take the applications that you're already using and then apply the cognitive or algorithmic solutions to those to get some more intelligent use cases for your robots. Now, of course, this still, we still obviously need, okay, there we go. So we're still going to need, now this is not replacing anyone's jobs right now. We're not seeing that in the market. I've worked with well over 15 clients at this point. But it does give you a taste of some of the more interesting use cases that you'll see or you might come upon as you're using RPA out in the business world. We're seeing this quite frequently with invoice processing, things like chat bots, things like that. And really, AI is sort of just entering into the RPA market and clients are just starting to use it. So it's a really exciting time to join RPA and begin your development. Okay, so I'm going to show all of you. I apologize if some of you are more familiar with our platform. I know it seems that we do have one of our community MVPs here, but I am going to gear this demo just more towards general UiPath usage, show you a little bit about our platform, a little bit of how it works, and then we can move on to some questions if you have any. So one powerful thing about RPA and how it works behind the scenes is we'll see here, as we build out this automation, we're going to be using something that's part of UiPath called the UI Explorer. And you'll see here on the visual tree, we're getting this tree-like structure off of every single application that's running on my machine. So we can see here Studio, within Studio, there's a title bar. Within the title bar, there's all these buttons, okay? And so UiPath, it will build this tree-like structure off of every single application running on the machine. And in this way, RPA can interact with any application running on the machine. So we're going to be using this to do our RPA challenge. Now you see here when I press the submit button, the fields are moving all over the place. And now traditional RPA, how it used to work is it used to work based off the pixel locations of where things were on the screen, which was more difficult to use. But we'll see with UiPath RPA technology, it is advanced a little bit further. So we're going to see that it is going to be able to handle these boxes moving around, no problem at all. So let's see that. So what we're going to do is we're going to download this Excel file. Now this challenge that we're given, what we need to do is we need to take this Excel file. I'm just going to drop it onto my desktop there. We're going to take this Excel file. What we're going to do is we're going to read from it. I'm going to open it up so that way we can take a peek at what's inside. And now what we're doing is we're taking the information inside of this Excel file, and we're going to be entering it into these fields here on the screen. Now, if you imagine if you're a business user, if you're working with these Excel files every single day, this might be a highly repetitive task if you need to enter in this data into some application that your business uses day to day. So we can see here, we need to specify the location from it. The sheet name is sheet 1. We're going to be reading all the information inside of this. And now we're going to create a data table, and we'll just call it people. We're just going to call it people because that's what our data table is. It's a bunch of information about people. And so now what we need to do is with this data table here, we need to go row by row, entering that information onto the screen, and then press the submit button. What we're going to do is we're going to use a for each row activity, and we're going to be iterating over each of these rows here. And so for each of these rows, we need to grab the information in the column and type it in to the fields on this web page. So I'm going to use a type into activity. And if you are new to our platform, you'll find that a lot of the functionality of our platform it's quite intuitive. It's easy to find what you need to. And we're just going to show the robot where it needs to type into. It's really quite simple. 2 quick clicks. Now you'll see that if I were to take this activity, let's move this over into a sequence here real quick. If I take this activity and I just go ahead and I have it type whatever we'd like. Now the robot, it will type hello into this field, but if I press the submit, it might not work. So we can see that the UiPath robot is running because we see this white icon down here at the bottom. And now the robot, it's still not typing into it. That's because it can no longer find this. So the way that our platform works is we use something called a selector that is going to find which part of the application to interact with. So if we go back into UI Explorer, you'll see that when I click on one of these boxes here, it shows us where in that tree we just clicked on, and it also gives us some text here. And what this text is it's uniquely identifying which node on this tree is the thing I just clicked on. All right. Now we can see it's using this text right here to try to find this. Now, when I look at this, I look at the ID and I think to myself, this might be the thing that might change, right? So what we can do is we can take a look at this, and let's just make sure. I think I clicked on the address, but we can see here that when we get this selector here, we can see we have this ID. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the submit button. We get a new address field there. And I'm just going to click on it again. And we can see that once this loads, the ID is indeed different. This is the ID from the previous screen. This is the ID from the new screen. And so this is an important part when you're developing a UiPath. You need to make sure that your selectors are going to be valid, that they're going to be able to find the thing that you need as the application moves from page to page, or you open the application a new time, what have you. So there's a few things that we can do this selector to try to make this work. There's also a myriad of other activities that we might be able to use here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, this is our properties pane. Now, sometimes you might be able to find a property over here that would uniquely identify the field that we want. Now, right now we're looking for the address. I'm not seeing anything right here that really sticks out to me as an address. So I might look into other parts of the tree. Now, what these lines here are they are sort of like the nodes as we're going up the path. They're like the parent nodes to go to this node that we just went to. So when I click on this node, I see that right in here, there's this property called inner text. And this actually might work. So what we're going to do is we're going to get rid of all of this information. And what we're going to see here, let's see if we can get this to validate after I press this button here. Okay, so when we have that change, we can see that now we're no longer using that property that we were before. And when I press the highlight button, we can see that UiPath is correctly identifying this address field, which is where we want it to type into. Now we can see that there is an IDX here. This is a part of our platform that sort of UiPath will inject into applications when it doesn't exactly know where things are uniquely in the application. It's something that UiPath adds. And so because it's something that UiPath adds, this might not stay the same every single time you open up the application or you go to a new screen. So we're going to delete that now. I'm going to try to see if the application is still able to find that, and we're good. It's still able to find it. Perfect. So we can take this now, and we can use this for our selector here. I can just paste that right in. We can say here, you know, type into address. And the reason that we changed that name is so that way, as we are developing, we'll get back error messages of what might happen, what might go wrong. And so we'd like for UiPath to help us find where things might be wrong in our code. So when we change that name, it's going to more easily allow us to find what is mistaken. So this is just the UiPath way of referencing which part of this we'd like to enter in. Of course, I want to get the address to type into that address field. We can change the picture here because we can see the picture is a little bit different. So we can just change that real quick here. We'll see that now it matches up, looks good. And so we're just going to do the same. We are just going to do the same for the other parts of the application. And so while this is going on, I'd be happy to take any questions as I'm just going through that process. Again, I'm just going to be clicking there, taking a look at that selector. I'll show you exactly what I do, and I'm happy to take any questions that you might have in the webinar chat.
We have a couple of questions. One of them is that my degree is in MIS, so I'm not incredibly technical. By the way, Eric is probably one of the most technical person in the tech world. So I know it seems like he's doing this really fast. It's okay if you don't understand everything that he's doing. He's just doing a demo for you guys. So anyway, so she is more interested in the RPA business analyst role or implementation manager role. Do you have any, does she need to take the foundation and orchestrator and then switch to BA or IM courses? Do you have any suggestions?
Yeah, you know, the best BAs that I've seen, the ones that are really successful, that help RPA developers the most, are the BAs who have experience with RPA and have you know, at least some understanding of how the technology works. They've built out an automation before. They've done something along those lines. So I would recommend, if you are interested in being a BA, which is great, we desperately need great BAs, and I really hope that you pursue that. If you want to do that, I do highly recommend that you spend some time learning RPA. You spend some time learning about our platform, how you can help identify, because, you know, one important thing that BAs do that I've worked with at clients is BAs, they kind of remove all of the roadblocks that you encounter as you're doing your development. So it speeds up the development process so much. It really helps the RPA developers. It helps the business. They just bring great value. So yeah, I highly recommend it. And it's an absolutely fantastic path to go down, for sure.
Thank you, Eric. And also, so for example, like Avanade, they are trying to hire more technical background participants, but also because they're connected with Accenture, they may be able to find positions for non-technical students with RPA's skill set for Accenture as well. So we have about 7 partners right now, and we have about like half. They're trying to get more technical background participants, and the other half, they are looking more into like the BA roles, the ones with non-technical, more of business background, but with the RPA skill set. And like I mentioned earlier, you know, we have about 3,000 enterprises as our customers. So even, you know, this program doesn't guarantee you a job, right? Or internship or a full-time job. But just having this RPA skill set would definitely help you. Cynthia, do you have anything to add? I know because you know, if I feel like if I talk about it, like I can sound kind of salesy because I'm from UiPath.
well, to be honest, I would highly recommend that you guys jump in and try some of this, because I've worked with some people that didn't consider themselves technical. They weren't really developers, but they love this. They just, you know, and you can tell if you love this because hours will go by and you haven't even realized how much time you spent on it because it's been so much fun. So I would, you know, even if you're like, well, I don't think I really know if I want to try it, just give it a shot, because you might find it really addictive. I know I did. I like it a lot. So, and then, yeah, and like he had said before about the BAs, it's nice to have knowing how this works. You can ask questions like, you know, how we had to how we was looking at how things change on the screen. A BA needs to know to ask those questions. How often does this application change, and why does it do that? And you know, so if you're good at those kind of questions, you'll be perfect for this. Yeah. So we're looking for all kinds of people that can fit into this role. And having that certification is going to be huge.
Thank you. Yeah, for example, two of our MVPs actually. So one of our MVPs here, Clayton, hello. He will actually be at our hackathon as well. But 2 of our UiPath community MVPs, they work for Capgemini in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So automation is actually huge in Sao Paulo right now. And they told us that for their office in Capgemini, they hold like bi-weekly workshops of automation for all their employees, marketing, HR, procurement, accounting, for everyone. And so just having this RPA skill set will really, really be beneficial to you, especially when you are applying for positions at these enterprises. Yep.
Yeah, and just going off of what's already been stated, you know, I've been at clients where I was actually at one client in San Francisco, and there was an accounting team member that came up to me, and she actually just taught herself RPA. She had been building her own automations. She had no software engineering experience, no software development background experience, and she just picked it up herself and just learned how to do it. And if anything, RPA can even be a smoother transition, if you will, into software engineering or software development, because as you're developing RPA, you might kind of dip your toes into that a little bit, get familiar with it, get familiar with variables, with loops, things like that, kind of the basics of software engineering and software development. So it is an easier way of introducing yourself to these concepts and getting involved in them.
Thank you, Eric. How are you with the automation right now? Can I answer another question?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah, keep them coming.
Sure. Okay. So another one is, could you go into more detail about what's going to happen at the hackathon and how we can prepare for it? So of course, we highly encourage you to finish both foundation and orchestrator courses by hackathon, which is gonna happen on August 10th and 11th. So this is a 36-hour hackathon, but like I said, it's really fun. You hack for about 24 hours, and we will have our partners there. They will act as mentors, also like the juries, and they will provide challenges for you. That's kind of similar to the problems that they face at their workplace, but of course simpler versions. So you will have your own team. If we can help you find your team as well. And we provide all food, and you spend all night at the venue. I mean, you can go home if you want, that's fine. But we've seen that at hackathons, we see that these students, they actually stay up all day, all night, automating. And Eric and Diana, if you have experience with hackathons, like, please feel free to share them as well. We will also provide some entertainment for you. So yeah, like I said, it's going to be a lot of fun, and there's a chance for you to win up to $10,000. So why not, right? So I hope we answered the question for you. And will I be available to attend the hackathon remotely? As of now, no, but if you are coming from different cities, we will help you with the transportation. So please send me an email separately, Chris. You can send an email to rpaleague@uipath.com, and we can talk about the details. And then Bridget asked, you have to be able to understand the technology in order to lead those that do the dirty work, right? Is there a separate certification process for a BA or IM role?
So we do have courses specific to BAs and other roles such as solution architects and whatnot. I wouldn't say that you have to have them. I would say that it would make you, if you were to get them, and if you were to get those technical skills, and if you were a BA, it would greatly assist you. It would assist your company. It would make you better at your job. Your colleagues would love you, of course, because I mean, really, a competent BA just saves RPA developers an incredible amount of time. So yeah, I would highly recommend getting those technical skills and pursuing that. I mean, if anything else, just try it out. You'll probably have a ton of fun. But we can see there that this is, I'm not exactly sure. I may have, you know what, it may have typed into the other field, but we can see that the bot just did that part of the automation. And we can tell that the bot, it didn't quite do that maybe as fast as we had hoped. So we can actually speed this up. So we can take another question, and I'll kind of show you in the background here. If we go into the type into, there's this neat little thing with our platform, the simulate type. And what simulate type does is, when you click on your keyboard, when you press a key on your keyboard, the keyboard sort of interacts with your computer and says, hey, computer, I'm typing this into it right now. And so with simulate type, what happens is our platform actually sends kind of all of those commands of the robot typing into that field. And it kind of does it simultaneously, almost like instantaneously. So we'll see that once I turn this on, the robot's going to move even faster. So let's move on to another question.
So this is not really a question, but Bridget said that she hates Java. And Clayton said, me too. Clayton, our MVP. Do we have any other questions? Please feel free to ask them. Yeah.
I definitely, especially when you're starting out with programming, I do not recommend Java. Java is something called an object-oriented programming language. Objects, just kind of wrapping your head around what an object is sort of a feat in and of itself. It is definitely for someone who isn't familiar with programming. It's kind of an extra layer of complexity. If you are interested in incorporating some programming into your RPA, and you'd like to dip your toes into something that's a little bit more digestible, I would recommend starting out with Python. I think Python is a great beginner language. It's very easy to pick up. It removes a lot of the complexity that you might find in other programming languages. And it's readable too. It's kind of nice to look at. Whereas when you look at Java, there's like all these brackets and class and all this stuff going on, and it's kind of, you look at it and you're kind of like, what is this? So we can see this time with the simulate type, it was a bit faster, but we can continue to make this even faster. Do we have any Q&A or any questions in the Q&A section, or anything else that we can address?
Not as of now, but please feel free to ask more questions using the Q&A session. But sure. Eric, you can just automate away.
Yeah, I'll keep going. So let's see here. I don't know if the delay between keys actually does anything for this, but we can see here now, as I'm mousing over, we can see that there's some default values here. Like for example, the default before is 200 milliseconds. So, and the default delay after is 300 milliseconds. So we can set these to 0 milliseconds, which means instantly, obviously. And I expect that after we do this, we're gonna see the robot move faster. And this is something, as you're developing a UiPath, this is something that you're gonna wanna check. When you do a change, you wanna make sure that that change is still gonna work for you. Because sometimes these applications, depending on what you're working with, when you type into a field, a different portion of the application might update or a screen might move around. And so, when you make these changes, it can impact if the robot can find whatever it is that you're looking to do. I see that we do have a question about a company list participating in the job fair.
Yes, we will upload the confirmed company list on our LinkedIn group by next week. Currently, we have about 5, and I really want to have all the confirmed ones before I am sharing all of them. So stay tuned. But of course, you guys know Avanade is one of them right now.
We're the best, obviously.
Yep. We also have some local ones as well in Houston. So stay tuned.
Cool.
I think go ahead.
I'm just going to say, as I continue to turn more and more of these RPA specific features on here with UiPath, we're going to see that it continues to get faster and faster and faster. And now something that's interesting at this point, what I'm going to do here, actually, let's see if, actually, we'll just do this. We don't need to edit this code very much. So you'll see that when I click this run button now, I can actually minimize the screen because now it isn't actually using the mouse at all. So this shows you, as you develop RPA, kind of the power that can come out of it. So that time, I had the entire screen minimized. You couldn't even see it. I could have been working on something else. If you imagine this automation was something that took minutes or a much longer period of time, the robot was able to perform all of those actions flawlessly, 100%, even with the screen minimized there. And that's with this power of these simulate options over there. So I see that we have we have a question about a candidate with an H-1B being eligible to participate in the job fair.
Sure. So this depends on the partner, the hiring partner. So they all have, their HR, they'll have to check with their own HR team. So at the job fair, please let the partner know of your status, and, then you can take it from there. I can tell you another company. Should I, or should I wait? I mean, we already revealed Avanade, so I'll reveal of the local one. So we also have the Noble Energy as our hiring partner as well. So how are we with the automation, Eric?
Oh, we're good.
We're good? Yeah, that was very cool. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Do we have any other questions? I know
I see that there is a Q&A question about where can we find challenges like the one that I'm doing right now to get practice.
Wow. So I'm actually going to ask Eric. He doesn't know yet, but I'm going to ask Eric for like a list of challenges that you guys can practice. Please come to the Automate and Connect workshop. So it's going to be happening on the week of July 22nd. We will send out the Eventbrite invitations to all of you. This is where you really get to bring your laptops and work and automate together in person. But again, we will also provide a list of simple challenges that you can do at home. And you know, if you have any questions, please feel free to send us an email or connect with our RPA developers like Eric on our community Slack channel. Noah is a great company. They used to be a client of, oh. When do certification exams begin? Eric, do you know? So this is self-paced, so you can start anytime.
We do have a more thorough certification exam that you can sign up for. And but that one will be a paid service, so someone will need to pay for it. A lot of our clients or companies that we work with, partners, whatnot, they'll often sponsor their employees and have them go through the certification. So that is an option for you if you'd like. Of course, as Judy said, we do have the certification available on Academy if that suits your needs.
Will the certification of UiPath give any priority? What do you think, Eric? I would say yes, because from what I heard from our customers, so there are some other customers of UiPath. They are not our official UiPath partners, but they are looking to hire from our participants, and they're very technical. So they actually, they're based in, we have about 4 of them. They're in San Francisco and San Jose region. And they wanted us to let them know of those participants who finished all 3 courses, so Foundation, Orchestrator, and Advanced, and passed the certification exam. And for this one, you don't have to obviously finish by August because they're not our official partners, and they're not going to be at the job fair. But so yeah, I would say yes, but not 100%. What do you think, Eric?
I think the thing that partners and the companies evaluating hackathon attendees, the thing that they're going to care most about is the performance during the hackathon and what the attendees produce. At the end of the day, the certification is there to show that you have some UiPath knowledge in lieu of you having an opportunity to prove that you have that UiPath knowledge and capability. And so the hackathon actually gives you the opportunity to not only prove that, but prove that for challenges and problems that those partners or businesses might face on a day-to-day. So really, if anything, your performance during the hackathon is going to mean more than a certification would. In terms of the cost of the certification at UiPath, Naveen, yes, the certification on Academy for our courses is absolutely free. Our courses are free. Once you complete them, you will receive a certification. What I was mentioning before was a more thorough certification that is paid. And that is something that you would need to pay for. But yes, we do offer free certification on Academy that you would receive after completion of a course.
Okay, do we have any other questions? I think it's been about an hour. Thank you, everyone. What are some ideas that will be asked in Hackathon? Stay tuned. You'll find out very soon. We are, like I said, we are going to provide a list of some sample challenges. So just kind of get used to them, and yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks so much, everyone.
So I think we're good, right? So like I said, I am going to clean this recording a little bit and add timestamps to it as well and upload on YouTube so you can watch it anytime. And if you have any questions, please send an email to rpleague@uipath.com. And yeah, that's it. Cynthia,
Thanks so much for coming, Cynthia.
Yeah, thank you, Cynthia.
No problem. I'm glad to be invited. It was fun.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.